Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Oracle of Lucifer. I am High Priestess Siren. You can just call me Siren. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a not super short, but kind of short video. First video, so trying to see what works. Um, just bear with me. We're going to do a love reading, okay, on how your person feels, like what they're thinking. It could be somebody that you just met. It could be somebody you've been with for 50 years. It does not matter. I will say, do not make it fit if it is not your story. Okay? If it is your story, then I'm just here to kind of confirm what you know or what you feel. Okay? If you're like, wow, I didn't know that, or that doesn't sound right, probably not your story. Okay? If nothing resonates at all, that's okay. If you don't like my style of reading, that is absolutely okay. There are plenty other amazing readers, okay? Um, but all that being said, I think I covered everything. Um, I'm going to go ahead and say trigger warning because we are in Scorpio energy, okay? So, like, no telling what could come out. So I'm going to just say that, like, just so you're aware, all right? So let's get this shit going and see what we can find out. I hope that this helps whoever needs it right now. I'm just gonna do a little cleanse real quick to get rid of any crap energy. We don't need that in here. All right, what deck? What deck? I know you can't really see my table right now. I'll fix that in other videos. Right now it's kind of trial and error, so just bear with me. All right. And I've already pre-shuffled all the decks I have sitting right here, but I know some people are gonna be like, why didn't you shuffle on camera? So shuffling on camera. All right, I'm gonna do 3 shuffles and then we'll get started. This will actually be the first time I've used this deck, so kind of interested to see what comes out. All right. Okay. Put my glasses on and see what's going on here. All right. Spirit, what does my collective need to know about their person and love? Please. There we go. One more. Get a flow. Alright, so we're going to pick out this card. See that? Okay. Pent up anger. You have unresolved feelings from your past that makes you resentful toward others. Okay, so your person's feeling like they're getting, I don't want to say crapped on, but I think because of past traumas from relationships, the person you're either talking to or married to is kind of suffering because of that. I told you this might get deep. If it does and it's too much, you can click off. I absolutely understand. I'm not here to trigger anybody. I'm here to help. So hopefully this does help. But your person is feeling like they're getting the crap into the stick because it's something you've already been through. And they're being as understandable as they can be. But, as humans, we can only take so much, especially if you're questioning, when they go out, or possibly accusing them of cheating because you've been cheated on, even if they've given you no reason to. You know, you don't want to make your current responsible for your past. Um, we've all been there, and it sucks. Okay, so there's that one. Next one. Let's see it. Sorry, I thought somebody was walking in my room. Love's the answer. Love won't solve your problems. You need to work on being independent. Okay, so for some of you, because of what has happened in your past, I'm feeling that you could probably have abandonment issues, and that's something that is starting to weigh on your partner. You know, maybe when you guys fight, if they need space, they need to go on a walk or go on a drive or something, you panic because you automatically are scared that they're going to leave. You could possibly need a lot of reassurance, constant reassurance, and that could be weighing on your person. Yeah, you definitely have abandonment issues. Okay, so for some of you, your person is getting weighed down by dealing with the abandonment issues, and for some of you, your person is getting weighed down because you're either accusing them of cheating, staying too late at work, where were you? It doesn't take that long to get home. Did you stop somewhere? Where did you stop? Like that kind of energy when they haven't given a reason for you to need to be like that with them. Does that make sense? Because of past. Okay, let's get one more. Judgment. Is don't be too quick to count someone out. Be open and give them a fair chance. Okay, definitely. All right, so you're. I feel that somebody here is being unfair. You're either questioning every single thing they do because of being hurt in the past, which I'm not attacking. I promise. I understand. Believe me, I do. I feel why you do it, and I feel that it's you don't do this on purpose. It comes out. The traumas are triggered. Okay. Whoever I'm picking up on, you and your person need to sit down and talk. You need to let them know that, these triggers that come out that kind of lash at them, it's not because of them. It's because of these triggers. You need to talk about your past traumas if you haven't already. But I feel like you could possibly need to do it again just to give them the reassurance, hey, I'm not I'm not blaming you for something that somebody else did. Like, I know it's not you. I know this is from my past, but little things that you do are triggering to me, and just be absolutely transparent, you know, so they understand, hey, I know you're feeling like this and I'm sorry, that way they can try to maybe when they're going to be late at work, you know, call you or text you and be like, hey, babe, I'm going to be late, and kind of, or I have to stop by here. Um, but I would definitely talk with them because you don't want to possibly mess up a relationship, like a really good thing, because of past traumas, because this person seems to really care about you. Like, they want to help you through these, but you have to help them understand. You have to communicate. Like, if you start, like, if something happens and you start feeling that trigger come on, be like, look, I'm feeling this way, and I want to say this, this, and this, but this is why, and give them the chance to help you through that, instead of just feeding off of that fear, you know, be like, look, I need you to help me. I'm feeling like this. Just walk with me through it, and you'll get through it. But you have to communicate. You have to communicate with who you're with, because a lot of relationships end because of the communication. If there is no communication, there's no relationship. Like, you have to be able to talk, and the right one will understand. The right one will understand. Okay. Okay. Your partner could be a fire sign or an air sign. I'm definitely getting a mix of both. Maybe a little earth in there, but mainly fire and air. Okay. Ambivalent. You say you want a lover, but you're not all in. Take time to figure out what you want. All right. This is definitely, it goes with the rest of them. Like, you're wanting to be in this relationship, like, you really care about this person, you really love this person, but again, because of your past, it's hindering your present and your future, with this person, um and with yourself. You need, like I said, you need to communicate. And I know I'm probably repeating myself, but it's true. Like, you have to, if you're going to try to be with somebody, especially if you're not healed, you need to be 100 with them and be like, look, I've been through this, I've been through that, it's going to cause this. I might question you, I might call you 1,000 times. I might need reassurance every single day, and give them the chance to be like, okay, well, I want to be here for that, or no, I'm sorry, that's too much for me. And a lot of people are scared to do that, especially if you first meet somebody, because you don't want to chase them off. Like, you don't want to be like dumping all your crap on them, but at the same time, the right one will stay. The right one will understand. We all have a past. you know, and most of us all have traumas of one or another. Um, but you know, give them the chance to show you, you know, yeah, I want to stay, or I'm sorry, that's too much for me, you know. But the right one, it won't be too much for. The right one is gonna walk with you through these traumas and will walk with you through this healing. You know, who knows? Maybe they have healing of their own that they need to do, that you can help them. And by, you know, helping somebody heal that you care about or possibly love, that can help heal you as well, you know, and you can heal each other together, you know, like me and my husband do, you know. We both have traumas, we both have, you know, past, but we walk through them together, you know. Okay, grab another card. Oh, not four. Oh, oh goodness. Okay. Told you this might get a little deep. If it gets to be too much, click off. I don't want to trigger or hurt anybody. I want to help, you know. Um, feel unloved. So your person can definitely be feeling unloved, especially excuse me, especially if you're having unresolved feelings and you're kind of like pulling back, you know, to where they are having to kind of guess how you feel, you know, or if you're like nitpicking, you know, where you at, what are you doing, like not fighting, but you know, nitpicking. Um, says you deserve someone who can support you emotionally and love you fully, which is literally what I was just saying. Like, the right one will stay, the right one will understand, you know, when you're feeling a certain way, you know, if they're at work too long and you're like, okay, where you at? What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Because that's exactly where your head's going to go. Like, especially with trauma, your head's going to go to the worst. They're talking to somebody, they're not coming home, or they stopped here to see somebody. Like, that's where your mind goes. I know. Okay. But again, I'm going to say it so many times, the right one will stay. You have to talk to your person, you know, and just, even if you feel it's trauma dumping, maybe that's what you need to do, you know, because it'll give the other person, a chance to be like, okay, I'm all in, or I can't do this. And it'll save you both a lot of time and heartache. You know, if you go and invest all this time and emotions and everything into this person just for them, because you don't tell them, and then you know it starts coming out, because when you first meet you don't act like that, you cover everything because you want that person to like you know. um but if it starts coming out, then guess what, you have problems, they could possibly leave, you could break up, and then for what, you know. I'm I do apologize if I seem blunt, but that's that's who I am. I am very blunt in a caring way, but I am blunt. You know, I do try to get the message out as clear and bluntly as possible. So I am not here to offend. I do apologize if I am. Okay, next card. Okay, demanding. You set impossible standards for your partner to meet. Be less demanding. All right. Okay. You definitely. I'm feeling somebody here, somebody in the collective, or a few people in the collective are definitely dealing with past traumas. With the way things like are coming out in the cards, the things that I'm feeling, at least a few people here are dealing with past traumas. And your person is kind of hanging upside down. What do I do? You know, I'm not sure. Should I stay? Should I go? Do we work this out? You know, how do they feel? Like they're having to question a lot because you are pulling out or pulling back, sorry, a lot, like a lot of your energy, or possibly getting upset with them, like we talked about. Um, you need to let up a little bit and you need to talk. Because if you and your person really care about each other, you need to open up to them so they can help you and you guys can work on this, you know, or you're going to have, you could possibly have another relationship that, you know, goes to crap and you don't want that. I know that is blunt, and again, I'm just a blunt person. That doesn't mean I don't care. I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't care. I do. Um, but I see this in myself, okay, and I see it in a lot of um, people that I read for, you know, and it's not easy. It's not easy to open up and talk about your traumas. It's not. You know, I understand that. Like it, especially being an air sign, it's not easy. Like I want to clam up, and I get that. Um, but if you want a relationship, a healthy relationship to work, you have to be like transparent, clear. I'm feeling like this for whatever reason, you know, and work it out, you know, but give them the chance to know that hey, I feel like this, but if it's not because of them. If they're doing crap to trigger you, you know, especially knowing that you have trauma, if they're doing the same junk that you've already been through, no, no, no. That's that needs to go. Like, bye. That's not for you. Okay? You don't want to leave one relationship that completely destroyed you to get in another one for it to do the same thing. All right? So, if this person cares, they'll work on this with you. They'll walk this with you know, but you can't just bottle up like what's wrong and expect them to already know and be like, well, this is this or this is that, you know, and nag and stuff like that because you're triggered. You know, if they're doing something that they don't realize what they're doing because you haven't talked to them, how do you expect them to fix anything or make it right if they don't know what to fix, if they don't know what to make right? Okay. I don't know if this is feeling kind of like a therapy session, but hey, maybe it was supposed to turn into that for a reason. Maybe somebody in my collective needs to hear this. And if you do, then I'm glad I'm here. If this helps one person, I'm glad I'm here. Okay? I don't mean to be cold at all. Like so if I come across that way, I do apologize. But I'm very passionate about people, you know, and I know somebody here needs to hear this. Okay, so whether it's just a plain tarot card reading or it's a therapy session, maybe it's supposed to be a therapy session, you know. All right, so speaking on that, let me put these cards aside, okay, and I'm gonna grab if I can move these ginormous cards. I'm gonna grab a couple of these and just see what else. All right, see what else you need to hear. That is too many. Spirit, way too many. Thank you. But the right one will help walk you through these traumas, you know. And if your partner has the traumas and it's you, you know, if the roles are reversed, it put it where it fits. You know, if it don't fit, don't take it. But if your person's having trauma and you feel like they're doing nothing but nagging and nagging and nagging and calling you, why are you late? Why'd you stop here? Why'd you do that? There's a reason. If you're not giving them a reason for them to be acting the way they are, there's still a reason. Not because of you, but because more than likely past traumas. But either way, whether you know it's you or them, y'all need to talk. Y'all need to communicate and figure out if it's the right thing for you guys. If it is, y'all make it work, right? I mean, I would, you know, if it's the right person. And if they're not the one causing this, yeah, I think this is probably turn more into therapy. But you know, maybe sometimes we just need therapy. Maybe sometimes we just need to listen to somebody that understands, you know, that can guide you in the right direction. You know, there's thousands and thousands of, you know, the readers on here that go through the cards and they tell you what you need to hear. But there's some on there that care, and well, there's quite a few on there that care, and you know, will just vibe with you and have kind of like a therapy session, you know, because somebody out there needs that. You know, they need to just sit and listen and be like, wow, yeah, I'm going through that. That's what I'm dealing with. Maybe, okay, cool, I can try that, you know. You don't know. Or this could sound just like a rant and you can click off. That's fine too. It won't offend me none. So, all right. Let's grab a couple of these and do 3. Okay. So the first one is unicorn. I love unicorns. All right. Use your intuition to make beneficial change. If something's got to give. Like, if you or your person are feeling like this, like something's got to give. You again, I'm going to say it for the millionth time. You got to communicate. You got to talk to each other. If the person is worth working this, like not working it out, but going through this, then talk to them. You know. But something's got to change, and the first step is talking, and then you know everything else will follow suit. First, pay attention to your finances. You could, okay, well, maybe a trigger. Hmm, maybe somebody has money triggers. You fighting about money? Okay, maybe ow, somebody somebody in my collective's just fighting about money and with their partner, and that's what's causing it. Or you could have triggers. Okay, so you could have grown up with less than what needed. Wow, that just turned. So if you are your person, like I said, put it where it fits. If you are your person are a little low on money and it's causing you guys to kind of bicker at each other, it could possibly be a past trigger or a past trauma. Hmm. Okay, so for somebody in here, you guys, either you or your person are stressing about money. And that could be causing the discord between you. That's for like maybe one or two people. Because the rest of what I'm picking up, it doesn't have anything to do with money. Okay, so like I said, for one or two people, you guys are having money issues. So money. Somebody is being careless with the money and it's causing problems. Somebody could have a gambling problem. Somebody could be, because again, we are in Scorpio energy, somebody could be gambling behind the other's back and losing money. Definitely could have a gambling addiction. Somebody is spending money like it just grows on trees. Ooh, I don't know who that's for, but you're either your person is finding out that you're gambling money or just crapping money away like it grows on trees, or you're finding this out about your person. But something's coming to light mm-hmm, about money being spent that shouldn't be being spent. Like just, hmm. Okay, so if you've noticed, a bank account going down, if this is you, you've noticed a bank account going down and you're trying to figure it out, it's your person. Or if your person is figuring this out, just put it where it fits. But somebody is finding out that their person is spending money they shouldn't be spending. Okay. All right. The last one is pale. Okay. Time to get out of a situation. So, for some of you, you don't feel, or they don't feel like talking is going to help anymore. Somebody is pulled back and they're just holding everything in and not letting out how they feel, not talking, not communicating in any kind of way. And it's been this way for far too long. So they're making a judgment call, or you're making a judgment call to walk away from this. Not for everybody, just for some people. I'm hearing don't cry over spilt milk. I don't know why I heard that. So for some of you, it's this is done. Like it's time to walk away. like you're not having any communication. You're not wanting to tell the other person, or vice versa, how you're feeling or what you're going through. You're keeping it to yourself, or they're keeping it to themselves, and it's just too much. Like I said, that's only for some people. For these people, you could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or have water sign somewhere in their chart. The other ones were fire and air signs. Um, excuse me. Um, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Leo, Sag. Why can't I think of the other one? Aries. Okay. Right. I'm gonna grab one more just because. Broken wishbone. Yeah, I had a feeling this one was gonna get kind of deep. I didn't expect it to jump everywhere. Wish will not be granted. Okay, so for the ones that are dealing with the water sign, or you can be the water sign, like I said, put it where it fits. You really wanted this to work out. Like maybe you thought that they were the person, but it's not the one. It's not the right one. It's not. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So for that one, it's time to pack that one up and walk away. For others of you, talk, communicate. I can't say it enough. Um, they need to let you know what they're going through and how they're feeling, or you need to let them know what you're going through and how you're feeling, because you can't expect them to be a mind reader and know how to help you if they don't know what's wrong, and vice versa. You know, they can't expect you to help them if you don't know what's wrong. You know, and you could end up walking away from a perfectly good relationship just over that, because you don't want to talk about trauma. And it's not an easy conversation, no, but it's a needed conversation, especially if you're going to hand your heart to somebody and they're going to hand you theirs, and you guys trust each other. Well, if you don't know that these hearts are damaged, you don't know to handle them with a little more care, you know, how's that supposed to work out? Yeah, it makes it harder on you and them. And, like I said, you can end up losing a perfectly good relationship with a great person over not talking, not wanting to talk about traumas because you don't want to bring it up. You don't want to go through it, you know? So, all right. So, like I said in the beginning, if I am not the reader for you, if this was a little too all over the place, I apologize. Um, hmm, okay. Um, I'm going to leave this here for now until the next one. Um, I hope that you guys find the healing that you need, or your person finds the healing that they need, and everything works out. For some of you, you should definitely move on. For some of you, you need to communicate, but everything will be the way it should be. You know, like it'll work out. Whether you know, it, you're single or you're with somebody, it'll be what it's supposed to be. You know. All right. Well, I'm gonna leave this here. It was a little jumbled, like I said, first video, a little jumbled around, but I don't know. I think somebody needed to hear this, so we'll see. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.